Guys, now it's time for some reading. So again, we will continue reading our book Cookie, and this time it will be chapter 7. So let's begin right away. But first, gotta drink some water. Okay, let's get started on this chapter 7. Here, wait a few seconds. I dived down looking for him. Rana dived too. Everyone dived, even Arabella and Emily. You dived too, Sky, said Rana. You're the best at diving. It's your fault for yanking Beauty into the water like that. It was just a joke, said Sky sulkily, but she dived too. I dived until my eyes streamed and my heart thumped. I was desperate to find little Nicholas. I only owned him for 20 minutes, but I already loved him with all my heart. I couldn't find him. Rana couldn't find him. Arabella and Emily and all the others couldn't find him. Sky couldn't find him, though she swam a whole length underwater looking for him. I think we better call off the teddy search, girls. You're all getting a bit blue and goose pimply. Out you all get, said Mrs. Mashole, handing out warm towels. I tried one last dive, holding my breath and keeping my eyes wide open, my hands grubbling sideways across the pool, ties like pink scrap. There was no sign of Nicholas Navy Bear. Come along, Beauty. You must get out now, said Mrs. Mashole, hauling me out and wrapping a big towel around me. Mr. Mashole was in charge of the hot chocolate to warm us all up. Don't look so upset, sweetheart, he said to me, popping 2 extra marshmallows into my mug. I'm sure we'll be able to find you another little teddy. He was so kind. I felt tears pricking my eyes. Oh, Lordy, look at old Ugly. She's bubbling just because she lost her little teddy-weddy, Sky muttered. She ran off, towel wrapped round her like a toga. When Rana came back, she had something clutched in her hand, something small and furry, in striped pajamas. Rana's found him, said Arabella. No, this is my teddy, said Rana. She thrust him into my hand. But he's yours now, Beauty. I can't take Reginald Retted, I said. Yes, of course you can. I've just got heaps of new birthday teddies. So you have Reginald Retted. Reginald Retted, said Sky, rolling her eyes. What kind of mad name is that? I think it's a brilliant name, said Rana. Beauty made it up. Oh, well, no wonder it's so weird, said Sky. She blew out her cheeks and stuck out her stomach, pretending to be me. Reginald Wetted, she said. She was supposed to imitating me, though I haven't got a lips. It didn't matter so much that Sky was being horrible, not when Rana was being so extra especially lovely to me. I'll look after him so carefully, Rana, but I won't keep him forever. I'll give him back to you at school on Monday, I suggested. We'll share, okay? Yes, that's a great idea, said Rana. We'll be co-parents. Cool. We'll have to have a little teddy bear's picnic for him with very tiny honey sandwiches. Oh, yes, you have such good ideas, Beauty, said Rana. I beamed at her. I'm so glad you have cheered up, Beauty, said Mrs. Mashole. Now you girls must all go and get changed out of your costume. Your mom and dad will be here to collect you any minute now. I prayed hard inside my head as I struggled back into my frilly blouse and pleated skirt. Please let Mom fetch me. Don't let it be Dad, I prayed. Wonderfully, it was Mom, looking shy and anxious, nibbling her lip, not really joining in any of the conversation with the other mom. Most of them didn't realize she was a mom. I thank Mr. and Mrs. Mashole for having me, and then I thank Rana all over again for Reginald Retted. He's our Reggie now. He's very lucky bear to have 2 mothers, said Rana, and she gave me a big hug. This is a bear hug, I said, and we both laughed. Bye, Beauty, said Rana. Bye, Ugly Wuggly. Sky called. She was collected by her polished old hair. What did that girl call you? Mom asked as we got in the car. Oh, just some silly stuff, I said quickly. Does she call you ugly? Said Mom. How dare she? I've good mind to go back and slap her. It's just her stupid nickname for me. Do they all call you that? Rana doesn't, so all the others do. Mom sounded as if she was going to burst into tears. I clutched Reginald Red Tit for courage. I tried to smile at Mom. Surprisingly, it's no big deal, Mom, honestly. We've all got nicknames. One of the girls is called Poo Poo. It's just an idea of fun. Said Mom. I still think ugly is a horrid nickname. Can't they call you something else? They do sometime, I know, I said, but I knew Weirdo, Wobbly Bum, Brain Box, and the new Corkscrew were necessary and kinder than ugly. I think you have to invent a nice nickname for yourself, said Mom. Let me think. She drove slowly, humming along to the music on the car radio. They used to call me Dilly Daydream at school, and your dad used to be called Cookie because of his surname. Your surname? Can't your new nickname be Cookie? I thought about it. I quite like the name Cookie. It sounds funny and bouncy and happy. Not really like me. I can't just get them to start calling me Cookie, I said. It doesn't really work like that, Mom. They decide what they're going to call me. Said Mom again. Well, we'll find a way of encouraging them along the Cookie route. She took one hand of the steering wheel and patted my shoulder sympathetically. She's very gently tugged a lock of my damp hair. That was a bit of waste of 50 quid. She said, Will Dad be mad, you think? I asked. Maybe, said Mom, sighing. Dad was mad. Usually came home jolly after a day's golf, but we knew as soon as we heard the door slam and a thump as we threw his shoe in the rack that he was furious. He stamped into the living room in his sock and poured himself a large whiskey, barely looking at us. Oh dear, said Mom in her sweetest trying to please voice. Didn't you have a good game, darling? You made a little shooing motion to me, so I started sliding out of the room. I won both games. As a matter of fact, said Dad, glaring at her, my golf swing is pretty level at the moment, and I was playing with a bunch of blithering idiots. I just don't get it. I've given them every incentive. It would be so simple for them to fix things for me. Very, very simple, but they all wittered on about their hands being tied. It's so frustrating, sucking up to the lot of them all day long and getting nowhere, absolutely blooming nowhere. I dithered in the doorway. Is this the water meadow deals? Said Mom. I thought you said it was all sooned up. Some cowardly nincompoop unswitched it all, he said. There's no way they'd ever grant planning permission. Oh dear, said Mom. Oh dear, that's a bit of a lip reaction. Is that all you're saying when the guys I own start clamoring for their money, and I haven't got the wherewithal to pay them? Will you just say, oh dear, when the entire business goes in the pan and we're out of this lovely house, sitting in the gutter looking stupid? I crept into the hall, biting my nails. Jerry, don't. You know you'll sort things out. You always do. Come on, put your feet up. Relax a little. Shall I run you a hot bath? You can get me a hot meal. I'm starving. Shove any oat milk in the microwave as if I care. I didn't pick you for your culinary skill. I picked you for your looks. I hate the way Dad talked to Mom, as if she was some silly doll. Hot meal coming right up, darling, said Mom. She sounded like a doll, too, as if someone had pulled a tab in her back to make her parrot a few silly phrases. I knew she was simply trying to sweet-talk him out of his mood, but it still made me squirm. It's still to be working, though. You certainly look good tonight, babe, Dad said. Like the hair, it's perk up a treat. So what about Beauty? Beauty? Let me see her new hair, though. Oh, Beauty's upstairs, Mom said loudly. She got tired out at her party. I scooted up the stairs, 2 at a time, but I was still wearing Mom's high heel. I tripped over, pumping my knees. Beauty, said Dad, going to the door. Oi, Beauty, I'm talking to you. Come downstairs right this minute. Let's have a proper squint at you. I walked down the stairs, holding my breath. Good God, you are right sight, said Dad. You look uglier than ever. I felt the tears pricking my eyes. I pressed my lips together, trying hard not to cry. Gary, shut up, said Mom. Don't you dare tell me to shut up in my own house, Dad said. What in God's name have they done to the kid? She's all over Rat's tail. He took the hold of me and tugged my hair in disgust. Stop it. Don't you dare hurt her, said Mom. I'm barely touching her. So did you actually pay good money, my good money, for this terrible hairdo dilly? It was a silly idea to start with. Beauty's just a little girl. She doesn't need fancy hairdos. It didn't really suit her. All those curls. There was a swimming party, so of course she got wet. I thought you were just going to paddle, Beauty. What's the matter with you? Whatever made you duck yourself headfirst in a pool and ruin your hair? Don't you want to look pretty? Don't pull that silly face. Nibble at your lip like a blessed rabbit. Stand up straight. Don't hunch like that, sticking out your stomach. Don't say another word to our lovely daughter. Beauty, go upstairs, darling, said Mom. I ran upstairs to my bedroom. I put my hands over my ears so I couldn't hear them arguing about me. I saw myself in my Venetian glass mirror. I tried brushing my hair. It stuck limpy to my head. It looked at me. I looked at my big face and my fat tummy and my ridiculous clothes. Dad was right. I did look a sight. No wonder Sky and Arabella and Emily and all the other girls called me ugly. It wasn't just a play on words because of my silly name. I was really, really ugly. It was like staring into one of those distorting mirrors at the fairground. My hair drooped. My face twisted like a gargoyle, and my body blew up like a balloon. My clothes shrank smaller so that my blouse barely buttoned, and my skirt showed my knickers. I seized my hairbrush and threw it at my image in the mirror. There was a terrible bang, and I saw myself crack in two. I gasped in horror. I smashed the mirror. The ornate Venetian glass mirror Dad had bought specially for my bedroom. A long crack zigzagged from the top to the bottom of the glass. Here. I shut my eyes tight, praying that it was all a mistake, an optical illusion because I was so upset. I opened my eyes a fraction, peering through any of my lashes. Everything was blurry, but I could still see the ugly crack right across the mirror. I kicked the hairbrush across the room. Then I sat onto the carpet, down on my knees. I clenched my fist. I was still holding Reginald Retton in my left hand. I was still holding him. Why hadn't I hurled him? He had bounced to the glass and somersaulted to the floor. No harm done. I held onto him. He looked back at me squeezically. I am in such trouble, I whispered. Dad always goes totally mad if I break anything, even if it's a total accident. When he's in the mirror, he realized I threw a brush on purpose. I rocked backwards and forwards. I could hear the angry buzz of his voice downstairs. He was obviously still ranting about his ugly, freaky daughter. I hate him, I whispered. I can't help being ugly. He's my dad. He meant to like the way I look. He's meant to be kind and funny and gentle, just like Rana's dad. Oh, I wish I could swap places with Rana. Reginald Redhead tilted his hand at me. He seemed to be nodding. It looked like he longed to be back with Rana instead of stuck with me. So that's the end of this book. No, not the end, but the end of the chapter 7. Next time will be chapter 8. See you.